Hello again, and I am back. Sorry, just the first video was so long, and it was 16 minutes, and if I upload a 25-minute video, I don't think people would be very happy. It would be taking a really long time to load, even though 16 minutes is a long time to load too. So there's just a lot of stuff that happens, and God is just working so fast. So I just don't want to make the videos so short because there's just, I could literally go on for hours and hours and hours and say what amazing things God has been doing. But, well, if you really want to know, I can actually do a video that's that long. But I feel bad sometimes because I feel like people don't want to watch a really long video. Anyways, I will get to it. So, another thing that we learned, this was yesterday. Wow, that's been a long time. Kurt is the pastor, one of the pastors at Bayside Church. He did a little devotion thing for us yesterday morning, and we got breakfast with it, which was awesome. And we got these awesome, copied notes that we got to take notes on. And then, yeah, it was cool. This is for later, since we were having so many good discussions and everything, so we're going to do the rest of it later. But we are learning how to lead a small group, and all of us have already led small groups in our ministries, but so now we have that experience so we can build off of it when he was teaching us. So we have a foundation to, so we have understanding. And it was a really, really good training. It's interesting to watch everything broken down. That breaking isn't a word, but broken down, because sometimes you lead a small group and you just think, oh, it's a small group, I can talk in a small crowd and I'm good, if I do that. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's like a science, and I'm going to actually give you some of the points because it's very, very helpful if you want to ever lead a small group. And the very first, Kirk calls it the 10 Commandments of small groups. And I'll read all of them, even though we haven't... Oh, never mind. I can't read all of them because some of them are blank because we haven't done that yet. But I will read the first 4 since those are the ones that we went over. So the first one is, thou shalt bond. So that means that the kids in the group need to bond with each other. And if there's no bonding, there's not going to be any good discussion going on. And you can tell if you're bonded by spending free time. If you guys are spending free time out of the small group. And then the second reason why you can tell that you're bonded is by sharing resources. So, for example, if you are out eating and somebody in your small group or one of your friends pays for you, you know that you're bonded because, they don't want anything in return and they love you. You know that they love you. And then the second commandment is, thou shalt be vulnerable. So that means that you should be open with everybody in your small group. And that's good. So a quote that Kurt uses is, vulnerability begets vulnerability. So that begets means gives birth to. So when one person is vulnerable, I can't even say that word. It's literally 1:22, and this is why I shouldn't do this so late, but this is the only time I have free. So yes, begets means gives birth to. So when one person is vulnerable, they allow the other group members to open up as well because they feel like, this is a safe environment. This person just opened up, so I can open up too. And then the third commandment is, thou shalt set high expectations. So even if you feel like, oh, this group is not going to be good, I don't have the right people, all this stuff. You just go in there with high expectations, being like, okay, this is going to be the best small group ever, and we are going to get a lot out of this no matter what. So those expectations allow the kids inside that small group to see that, and then they try even harder, and it actually does become that type of small group that you want it to be. And I also wrote down, don't set it at the just level. So, for example, the just level is when you say, let's just listen, guys. And that makes them, stoop down to a lower level than you are expecting them to be at. So, because when you're saying just, it's just like, ha, I just said just. But it's not, it's not good for them. Sorry, that probably didn't make any sense at all. Anyways, the fourth commandment is thou shalt start well. So this means that when you are giving your lesson in the small group, you want to have a strong welcome. So if you have a strong welcome, the middle of it, the main bulk of it will be better, and the kids will be listening and more engaged rather than just focusing on the middle of it and being like, okay, this is a really good question for this middle of it, and just have the beginning be complete crap, and then the kids aren't engaged, and then so once you get to that good section of the middle, the kids won't be engaged and you wouldn't get anything from it. So the best parts are to focus on the beginning and then also the transitions. So transitions between questions and just making it a really good small group. Also, atmosphere is everything. So everybody should be on the same level, like literally on the same level of sitting down on chairs or in a circle, so they can all see each other's faces and not be lazy, like laying down on the ground randomly and stuff. And then, later on, you can relax and stuff once everybody knows each other. But yes, atmosphere is everything. Okay. And there's also a secret thing that they gave us, a really, really good thing that you can do. So I'm going to share it. So if a kid says something really interesting, or just anything, you just jot it down under their name. You have a different, like, post-it notes or, notes with all the things that they've said, and then you write a letter to them saying, like, what God is doing in their lives and how you've been praying for them and just encouraging stuff for them. And then you put it in a snail mail envelope, which means you put it in an envelope that can be shipped to their address, and you don't touch it for 3 to 6 months. And then after 3 to 6 months, you send it to them, and they are able to open it and see, like, what God has been doing and how God has been working. And it's just really cool for them, and it's just really awesome. And that's like the holy grail of small groups right there. And so lastly, I have praise reports. And so earlier in the first video, I was showing how to go to God and ask Him for things, and doing whatever you can do, and then praying about it once that red letter item comes up. And so I tried it this week, and it worked, and it was awesome. And I know that God's not just like magic genie person who always, answers wishes and everything, but it was really awesome because I guess the stuff that I was asking was in God's will. And so first of all, my car wasn't working, and my brake lights were out, and I couldn't drive it because I would get a ticket, and that was really scary. and I wasn't safe. And so I found a place to go get it fixed at. And it was like I couldn't really find a place to get it fixed at because every place was charging super amount of money to even just look at it. And I didn't have that money. And I would ask around and try to find people who worked at Bayside and also, or who went to Bayside and had a car shop and everything so I can get it fixed. But I couldn't find any of those people, and it was just really stressful. And God just literally fixed it. Like, my brake lights work. I didn't even have anybody touch them, and yeah, they work. It's so crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I was just stopping. I saw them come on, and it was right after I was praying for that and like going through everything with God, and just I can't even believe it. Like, yeah, you have no idea how cool it is. um, and then my second praise report is that I was really hungry on Wednesday because I have no money. Uh, all my money went to paying for the program, and I didn't raise enough to like go over, so they haven't paid me like in a check or anything so I can eat. And so when I'm working all day, I get really hungry, and everybody goes out and eat, and I just stay, and I'm like, I don't have any money to pay for food, which a lot of people also don't have money for food. But I was really disappointed because I was getting hungry, and I was a little bit disappointed that I couldn't go to lunch meetings and everything and feel like a normal person and eat. And, I was asking God for money. I was like, God, I just need this so I can, be normal, I guess. Even though God doesn't call us to be normal, but at least to eat. Yes. And God wants us to eat. But it was really cool because, the website that I have specifically for this Thrive program, the person didn't even donate through that. They donated through this website called GoFundMe, which I deleted everything, all my information. I don't even have a picture on there, and they donated to me, and I didn't even have a goal set up, and they don't even know me, and they're in a different state, and they just gave me money through that site. I was like, this is so cool. So now I have money to eat for like a month. It's awesome. And yeah, God is just amazing. So you should try out those things if you really need something from God, and He will provide. So yeah, that's basically it. And I don't really have any prayer requests right now, just basic prayers of, stuff. Like having my ministry go well and everything. And that's basically it. But if anybody else has stuff that they need to be prayed for, I will gladly take prayer requests. So, anyways, it's time to go to sleep because I have to get up early in the morning. So, goodbye, everybody.